Friday the 13th, and we're out here trying to figure out how these men are going to manage to escape. You're stopping by to the channel for the first time. Know that horror, figgies, WWE, they like to come together to fulfill this madness. And if you think Jason is a monster, I mean, he is, don't get me wrong. He's coming at you with a machete. Your ass is running. But I'm talking about wait until we get into the actual arena. There's a mastodon waiting for you guys there. Before we do, though, we got to cover this whole area, as well as on this side. We got so much going on. You will see that it is mainly devoted to Jason. I mean, being that it is Friday the 13th, we're still doing horror across the board in today's video, but I got to make sure that this man gets the spotlight, and what better way than for him to come after Brock Lesnar? I mean, after all, he is the WWE champion. He is most likely going to main event WrestleMania, and Jason don't agree to that, man. He's like, yo, you want to know how to do a show? You bring that. You come at me, you bring that championship, put it on the line. Next thing you know, the man goes whoosh, gets all decapitated, blood everywhere, nothing but a hot mess, and the burial process is already beginning. We just need to find out exactly how it's all gonna go down. Are we gonna get the proper burial, or is it gonna be one of those things where it's like, let's go ahead and build up to it. Let's get to that level, and when we do get there, make sure all the sand gets poured down. Vince McMahon, that's what he wants, man. He is burying Ricochet, and you know what? You know who's got the proper tools to get the dig in? Jason. And yes, and I know the mask, you really can't see all that well. I mean, he does have one cutout, at least one eye, but just know he's been doing it for so many years that as far as him getting the work done, he's the right man for the choice. Jason versus Freddy, they had a little break, man. They said, you know what? We've been battling, we've been throwing each other back and forth in this arena, and there is no end. There wasn't. You go and watch that movie between these two, the battle. It was more of like, I'm not going to say cartoonish, but it wasn't ideal, and it wasn't expected as to what we saw. So since they are on their break, they said, let's go after Roman Reigns. Maybe by doing so, we can get some kind of ending, some kind of finish to determine as to what is going on, who is going to carry the company going forward after Mania. It's what's expected. I mean, for the face of SmackDown, this is it. Raw, we can talk about that later. For the time being, I do want to throw one idea out there, The Fiend. All right, so we saw what happened at the Super Showdown, but if he does get, right, if we get the whole superstar shakeup with him going over to Raw, that could help him out. I mean, yes, Brock Lesnar, he's over there, he's dominating the competition, but since we rarely see the man, how about this? How about we do Bray Wyatt as the face of Raw? And in order for him to get into that position, he's going to have to go after something a lot bigger than him. Pennywise, right? The indestructible force. As long as you don't fear the man, dude, it's golden. You can walk through that trail. You can maneuver through it all. And Bray Wyatt, the man doesn't fear anything. The only thing he fears is Vince McMahon ruining the name of The Fiend. Coming around this side of the backstage area, we're getting ourselves handicap match. And I know you're thinking to yourself, like, where are you talking about, man? I'm only seeing two gorillas here. I don't know if you consider this a gorilla. I mean, partially, yes, he's still very much a gorilla, but we got this whole cyborg thing going on the left side, even up on the inside, man. Just pick this up. Such an epic figure. And yes, Planet of the Apes, he's right behind him. So you got two mastodons, but where's the third contender? Right here. This little tiny chimpanzee. This is kind of equivalent to Sami Zayn. You don't expect it. You think that your biggest threat might be Cesaro or Nakamura. It could be his biggest mistake, not being aware of every competitor just because he might not seem intimidating. He really doesn't. I mean, he got a little bit of red going on and some kind of eye with a flower. Well, what kind of freaking chimpanzee carries a flower on his left eye? I'll tell you who, this monkey. You can call him Curious, you can call him George, but don't call him late to eliminate Braun Strowman in this triple threat. He couldn't do it versus humans, let alone these monstrosities of apes. And if you want my opinion, I think the name change, it's gonna have to occur, man. That whole monster among men, that ain't gonna be relevant if he decides to step into the squared circle with either of these two gentlemen. The Batman who laughs last, or does he? Or has just Joker just completely lost it? I think it's a little bit of both. Joker, he took a different approach. He's like, all right, so we couldn't defeat him with the goons. How about we put on this mask? How about we put on that smile you all love? And Dink's all about it. He says, yo, how do we get that? You're asking the wrong guy, man. Look at these freaking knives coming right at you. I mean, he might miss. He's got a pretty good chance, but at the same time, you really don't. One thing that I do want to tell you, though, is that we got gotta come right through this walkway because I want to show you what I've been talking about. I've been hyping about it a little bit too much and we ain't even getting to it, so let's get in there. This is gonna be one of the hardest choices in an action figure setup in WHF history. Like, where do we start, man? Do we start over here with a little bit of the bubbly? Do we go and talk to Kong and figure out what is going on with John Cena? We'll save that for a little bit later. I want to talk about right now what happened with Lars Sullivan. We saw that, right? Last time, actually, the last few that we did see him in WWE, it was against the Lucha House Party. He went to town on all three of them, and I ain't talking about in that manner. Get your head out of the gutter and get that piñata. What is that, a cow? I can't even tell, man. It could be a goat. It could be a bull. It could be Leatherface. Just brutally upset, man. That's the rest right there. All that blood, all that splatter that you're seeing on that vest, that's Big Lars. Now, if you're wondering where he's been, I thought you said he was cleared for some in-ring competition. No. Lucha House Party just wants to thank him for taking care of their dirty work. But I think the thing is with him is like, you can't thank this man. You can't say, yo, I appreciate it, man. He was wrecking through all three of us, man. We were all jobbing to him when we should have been doing something, and they should still be doing something. You guys saw Linsley Dorado in that elimination chamber. Like, where is the story script? Where is the writing for these guys? I need to get up in there, man. I need to find out why he's so upset as well. Look at that piñata. You guys see anything in there? There is supposed to be candy in there, and now we can understand why he's just mad at them as he was with Lars. That is the wrong dude to troll. Did anybody order a little bit of the bubbly? I don't think Jericho did. I think had he had better success over there in Chicago against Moxley, he would have joined Chucky. He would have said, yo, Chucky's Brad, you still got that bottle? I already have it popped. Let's do it. But you can't, because Le Champion is no longer the man right here that stands before you. As a matter of fact, we have Moxley standing strong, beautifully, with that AEW championship title. Goldberg. This is, I'm not even going to call this like make-believe, because the more you look into this story of Goldberg's return, I mean, really any of the returns that have occurred between now and 2017, there is like, makes no sense. There is no logic as to how he even managed to do what he did, and with the finisher that he did it with. It was no jackhammer in my books. I still see it as a botched finish, almost equivalent to a regular suplex. But Michael Myers, he's like, yo, let me teach you a little something. Let me go take you to school 101 and let you know that the supernatural ain't nothing to play around with. Goldberg's all about it. He's like, come at me, bro. If Vinny says I can do it, I can do it. And now you can almost put me into that believer category. But before we do, I want to talk to you guys about Mania. So we got WrestleMania going down there in Florida. You know who was down there a couple years back? Nicholas. He's in the crowd. He actually came into the arena. I'm looking for a tag team partner. Braun Strowman, him and I, we managed to capture those tag titles, but I'm gonna need something a little bit more oomph. You know who's got that? Sam. He went through a good handful of people, and this is ideal. I mean, if you're talking about like kids right there being height equivalent to each other, all the high flying abilities, I can already play it out, and so can Sheamus. Goonies, hey you guys, Danny O'Brien. He got Sloth. He got Chuck. He says, I need some help, you guys. If you guys didn't watch Sheamus's video the other day, you know what he revisited? Do you guys really want to know what he played out? He wanted to get a reaction. He wanted to do actually a reaction video to his match versus Danny O'Brien at WrestleMania. I think to this date, it's got to be the shortest match in WWE history. And he wasn't a fan of it. He didn't like it. So he got his good old friend over here. He says, oh, okay. So you want to mess around with Danny O'Brien? Let me show you how I'm going to beat you in under 5 seconds and be declared as the new record holder at WrestleMania. Now, if you do recall our last horror action figure setup, we needed something to scale up for Predator. We had a giant Predator. He was like, dude, I can't compete with a regular ass alien, because that's what it was. It was a little, it was in miniature. I mean, technically all aliens, you're talking about 7 feet plus, but this go around, he had called up the queen. He says, we need to get you into this ring. I guess it'd be more fair. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Next time we throw it down, it just won't be the regular Predator. No, it'll be that giant giant predator that we picked up side by side with Alien. Technically, that is the only way that we're going to get this to be an equivalent bout. Now let's go up to Kong, because Kong and John Cena are finally seeing each other eye to eye. The dream match that we all wanted. Actually, I don't think anybody wanted this dream match, but if they did, you know who would come out on top. The Superman name would no longer apply to Mr. Cena. Matter of fact, King Kong right here would not only wreck through him, but everybody that decides to go one-on-one against the Great One. This was a setup, hands down, one of my favorite ones to ever put together. So many new introductions into this horror game, and guess what? Right here, this is only the beginning. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Haha, finally got it.